still got the 4 lambs. They made it through the cold. Happy, healthy, terrific, vibrant, playing around. Everyone's nursing well. And then now we got Miss Dot over there, who is in the very early stages of labor. She ought to have her, hopefully twins, or she will be lambing at least in the next 24 to 48 hours. She's got some mucus and things happening that are the imminent signs of delivery. And we just caught a little break with the weather. I mean, it got real cold, and now we're kind of hovering in the mid 40s, even going up to 50s a couple of these days, only getting down to about freezing at night. And yeah, they can handle that pretty easy. So everyone's doing well. We're still just rolling out hay. We had, amazingly enough, we had one like almost 70-degree day. Where are you going? And we actually got a little bit of green up and some grass growth in some places in the middle of January, which was just quite interesting. I mean, just one day, one warm day, and nature is wanting to go to spring, but we still got another, what is this, almost February 1st, February, March, we still got 2 months, 60 days or so before real spring. So still just feeding hay for the rest of that time. Still moving the animals. We are not doing the daily rotation that I've been doing for the last couple of years. I've just kind of decided it doesn't make a lot of sense right now with just feeding pure hay. We have no grass forage that's growing, or a stockpile for them to munch on. Everything is just down to nothing, and that is not where you want to be, and that is my fault. Trying to manage the drought too perfectly instead of just erring on the side of caution, having some insurance, and I mismanaged. Nothing detrimental, but just cost us a lot more hay, cost us some animal performance, and cost us all of our winter stockpile, so that come spring it's going to take a little longer for the grass to get going because it's so short everywhere. You really want to leave at least 4 inches, preferably 6. If you can leave that behind, when the warm weather hits, the grass is just going to shoot up, and in an exponential matter, you'll have more forage in the spring. But I think we'll be all right because we're carrying less animals. Learned a lesson. We'll have less animals this year. Instead of trying to maximize what the land could possibly give us, we are just going with the number that I'm quite certain it can give us, no matter the weather conditions. And then if we end up with extra grass, we end up with extra grass. But there's no need trying to go crazy and squeeze every little inch out of the ground. We're just not there yet. The forage isn't there yet. We're trying to improve the land through rotational grazing, moving these animals every day, spreading their poop and pee around, rolling out hay, putting carbon on the ground, and then their nitrogen from the poop and pee mixes with that. Hopefully we all know that is a good recipe for compost, which the grass loves, and just improves overall, keeps the animals healthy, keeps them away from their poop, the manure, and improves the land, and kind of does everything good, both for the animals and the land. But for now, we're slowing down the rotations just because there's nothing outside of this hay. There's nothing for them to eat, and so they're kind of just staying wherever we put the hay. So here's where I just moved them from, and I mean, just you can see, kind of going not as high density as we did last winter, but pretty high density, and just giving them a little bit more ground each day, just kind of expanding their area with each roll of hay that gets rolled out. And if you look, they're putting down a lot of manure. which this ground is gonna love come once the weather gets warmed up a bit. So, and not only is it manure, but the manure is on top of spent hay. The stemmy parts, the stuff they peed on and pooped on, they won't eat that. And so they mix up the manure, and they stomp on it, and it gets rained on, they put it into the ground, and this becomes earthworm central. And earthworms and the bacteria and the biome, the microbiome that just lives in this top couple inches of soil is what makes the world go round. So we're feeding that. We're feeding the microbiome just like we should feed our guts appropriately with good food. We're feeding the ground with nitrogen and carbon and lots of nutrients that all these little buggies can thrive on. And we should see just a big improvement on all this land year over year if we keep doing this. The opposite of this is just cutting hay off the land, chopping down hay and taking it somewhere else. All you're doing is stealing nutrients from the ground. You do that enough times over and over, and you'll completely deplete the nutrient stores that are in the ground. And you're not giving that first couple inches of soil, all the little bugs and bacteria and nematodes and everything that lives in there, you're not giving them anything to eat. And when they go away, the ground goes sterile. So if you cut hay over and over, you can put down enough fertilizer year after year and keep increasing that to keep getting your hay. But eventually, once all them bugs leave, the good kind, you're done. And the ground goes sterile, and it turns into cedar trees and broom sedge, which none of these animals eat. So instead of cutting hay and selling it or whatever, we're buying hay. So we're the opposite, and we're putting nutrients into our ground. We're taking nutrients off of other people's property that grow the hay, inserting them on our land, combining that with our cows' manure and urine, and improving our ground. So just a difference of philosophy. But to me, it seems a lot more natural. There's no outside inputs, no chemicals, no fertilizers, no hormones, no nothing. We've never had a vet bill. The animals stay healthy, they stay moving, just like a human body. If you're eating the right things, you're staying healthy, you're not very likely to get sick. The other aspect of that is fresh water. They're getting fresh, clean, just crystal clear water every day. And so fresh water, fresh ground, quality grass, a nice breeze. They don't have to have the nice breeze. I just added that in because I kind of like a nice breeze. Here comes Car Ramrod coming to check things out. The stud that he is. And that's really all you need for these animals to thrive. A little tender love and care. Doesn't hurt. But you know what? They'll just take care of themselves. You give them the basics. So they're happy. We're happy. We're lambing. We're happy for some mild weather as these lambs are getting dropped. And can't wait for the real warm-up. It's too early to start saying that. I don't know why I just said that. We've got another month and a half of cold weather and feed and hay to manage through before we really start seeing things green up, I think. But who knows? Could always happen earlier. So here's to thinking positive, but preparing for whatever comes.